everybody, my name is Ryan Miller, and this is Nick Canizzo, and today we're doing a review over John Wick Chapter 2, Numero Dos.
And I'm Nick, by the way.
I've already established that, okay. John Wick Chapter 2. It's about John Wick. This is the continuation of the adventures of John Wick from the first movie. Apparently, in the interview with Keanu Reeves, this takes place a week after the first John Wick movie. Yeah.
Okay, I did not know that going into it.
I know. I was like, I listened to that. That was actually me hearing that the first time was from Keanu Reeves. So.
I actually watched an interview with him on IMDb, but I didn't hear that.
So this takes place a week after the first movie, and John Wick goes even deeper back into his old hitman life, and he's trying so hard to get out of it, and now he's going back into it, and that's basically it. That's all you need to know.
He reprises his role,
exactly.
Which has some new characters, pretty much.
That's basically it. It's a simple movie. It's a simple concept that is a really good movie. It has great action, and it has good storytelling.
The directing's phenomenal for what it is. I personally think this is going to be my favorite action film of the year so far, but I could be wrong. I'm not really sure what other action films that are coming out besides like Fate of the Furious and things like that. But for me, I think this is going to be the best action film, John Wick Chapter 2. Do you have the same opinion as that before we start talking about the actual film itself?
So yeah, I was about to say, let's start talking about some of the great things about this film, the absolute purest of all things about this film. I loved the first one. The first one absolutely surprised me. I will never forget the day me and my dad watched that movie. My dad was like, "Oh, let's go see this movie," and afterwards he had a huge grin on his face. I will never forget that moment. That was honestly the best action film I ever saw in my entire life. It was filmed so crisp and so clean. The action, you see it right in front of your face. That's what I loved about the first John Wick movie. Is that it shows. Crispy. It was crispy. Let me finish my thought. But what I like about it is that the action was so filmed, so nice, and the storytelling was so simple, but you understand where this character's coming from, and that you understand his reasoning behind it. And that's why the first movie was such a huge surprise for people, because it's a Keanu Reeves movie. We're like, it's a Keanu Reeves movie, It's
going to turn out like Knock Knock or, the Neon Demon or something like that.
Exactly, but he blew it out of the park. I honestly thought that he did the best job he's ever done in his entire acting career.
Okay.
And so John Wick, so that's why I couldn't wait for the second one. When I heard about the second one coming out, I knew that it was going to be good. And I have to say, it is just as good as the first one.
Okay.
I'm very happy to say that. And some of the good things, I want to talk about this, and I'll let you take over.
Right, yeah, we'll switch.
Yeah, so some of the good things, that the main thing I loved about this film is that if you love the first one, you absolutely love this one. The action is filmed the exact same way as the first one, but it's so nice, it's so neat to actually see an action film that is done well. It's not done choppy.
Or shaky.
Yeah, or shaky. Sometimes, like, the Bourne Identity or the Bourne Supremacy can get away with it due to, like, how good the editing is. But to me, the editing was just nice and flow, and everything felt so realistic that you feel like that.
Even though it's all over the top.
Yeah, it's over the top action. That's basically what it is. And if you love the first one, you're definitely gonna love this one. And what I love about it is Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves puts 110% in effort into this film. There's not one moment in this film where I felt like that he didn't do a good job.
Right.
He did an amazing job.
He delivered all the lines.
You just lost your voice.
Yes, I did.
Oh my God.
I've been sick, guys, this whole week. I'm getting over being sick. My bad. But yeah, like, he delivered all the lines. Like, some of the cheesy lines, only Keanu Reeves could pull that off.
Only Keanu Reeves can say those cheesy lines. But I'll try to sum this up quickly. This movie is absolutely awesome. I don't believe that it is good as the first one, but it's like at a slim margin. Like, it's not like a huge difference. It's like right there. There's like it's a slim margin. The action is amazing. Keanu Reeves is just as good. Watch some of the behind the scenes of this stuff of what this Keanu Reeves did. He put 110% effort in this film. He learned how to do all these fighting moves. He learned how to do close quarter. He did all the guns that he handled were actual guns he has actually trained with. And if you know what I'm talking about, then you absolutely will love the idea of Keanu Reeves putting a lot of effort into his films, and some of the best aspects of the films. And to me, and I love all the characters. I love the new characters. I love the underground story that's
especially Common and Ruby Rose. They were a great addition to the cast.
Yeah, exactly, so we're really where it faltered for me was kind of the storyline. I feel like the storyline was kind of a little bit forced. That I feel like they could have put more emotion or more reasoning.
Would you say it's kind of like repetitive?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's repetitive. I would say that it's more like it felt like they're trying to give him a reason to come back, and I felt like that was kind of done really choppy, kind of fast.
Got a little tiring.
Yeah, it kind of was like, oh, here you go. Here's the reason you should feel good for him. I felt like that they explored more of these two characters past. You know what I'm talking about this marker. Where I feel like if they explore that past more and how their relationship was like really good and how they become like how they were like that.
Yeah, because it was built upon the market.
Yeah, I felt like they explored upon that more. I feel like this movie would be 100% more better.
110%.
110% more better than the first film did. So I'm gonna give this an awesome. I don't feel like that but it's at a slim margin of an excellency. It is definitely one of the best action films you've seen so far, and go see it. It's totally worth it.
So for me, guys, I went into this seeing half of the first film and not finishing the first film, so I know I'm going to get a lot of shit on that. But for me personally, this is one of the best action films I think I'm going to see this year. Like I said earlier in the video, I think it might be my favorite. I will give you my rating at the end and the reasons why I'm going to talk about now. Reasons why, I would say the action in this movie is flawless. There is no shaky cam. There's nothing that's too up close. That makes you want to turn away from it like Resident Evil did. That actually hurt my eyes and I had to turn away. Because that was all up-close, fast-paced editing. And this, it was just perfect and flawless and it didn't really, strain your eyes. And I really enjoyed that. I liked that whole flawless aspect of it. The relationships between the characters, even though they were pretty dull and, might not... They were definitely entertaining. It's just, not really too much backstory, especially established from the first film. I don't think there was enough backstory, so maybe if you haven't seen the first film, people in this going into just seeing the second would be maybe a little bit confused. So I might have wanted to see more of that, but I get it. It's a sequel. You should see the first film originally and then see the second. So I get that. I should have done that. But as a standalone film, standalone action film, I thought it was very good. I thought it was one of the best, and again, only Keanu Reeves could pull off that role. I was going to compare it to some other movie, but I totally forgot what it was while watching it, so I can't remember. Maybe I'll say it at the end of the video, but it was another, flawless action movie. I can't remember for the life of me. But just the action, I really liked the new characters of Common and Ruby Rose. Ruby Rose just does a great job of dying in movies now. That's all I gotta say for her. But she's cool. She's kind of typecasted now, I think, personally, with the Triple X and Resident Evil, which I don't know why I saw those. But for me, this movie, John Wick Chapter 2, I think it is a great sequel. I think they leave it off to where there kind of could be a third one. I'm not going to give anything away, spoilers, because this is a spoiler-free review, like we always do. But that's all I can say. Everything was good. The acting was surprisingly good from everyone, because this is a cheesy action movie with, more action and less plot, but they did a good job of making the action so important that it kind of made the plot not as important as it should be in most movies. That sounded confusing, but hopefully I worded it to where it made sense. So for me, personally, guys, I'm going to rate the movie now. Hopefully I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. I know mine was kind of quick. Ryan kind of said everything that I wanted to discuss, but that's cool. That's why he's here. I personally am going to give it an excellency. So for me, I am very satisfied with that answer, and I'll be looking forward to the third one if there's a chapter 3.
Mm-hmm. So the only thing I would recommend you is that please watch the first one.
Yeah.
Because there's some plots and storylines that I feel like you won't get if you haven't watched the first one. So please watch the first one. It's absolutely worth it. I promise you. You're gonna love the first one. There's no doubt in my mind that you're not gonna like the film. What was I gonna say? I had something in mind.
I don't know.
I forgot, but if it comes to mind, we'll record it real quick. But so this is definitely a really good action film. Mm-hmm. I would recommend seeing this if you're like really into action and if you feel like that. If you feel like that, if you want to see a true, genuine action film, go see this.
Oh yeah, definitely going to be one of the most surprising films all year.
Yes, and this took me by surprise of how good it was. And they took the action to a whole new level from the first one.
It was also very funny.
Mm-hmm.
We also saw the Lego Batman movie tonight. We pulled a double. But I would have to say it's on par with that movie. Like, that's how funny it was to me for being such a serious film.
Oh, yeah.
Which I wanted to also add in there. And then also, guys, be checking out our Lego Batman movie review. We're going to be posting that tomorrow morning. It's 2:30 in the morning right now. We're going to post it probably when we're up. It's been a long day. So we're going to have that up as soon as possible, guys, but we just wanted to get the John Wick Chapter 2 up because we were really excited to talk about that, and we had a lot to discuss in such a short amount of time. So I think that's where we're going to end the video here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and now I remember. Okay. Sorry.
Nope, you're good.
The second movie is a little bit longer.
Yes.
If you've seen, like, the Raid movies, it's just like that, where the first Raid movie was nothing but action, where the second Raid movie was more storytelling, and I feel like the second one was try to be more storytelling, and try to be and have lots of action scenes to that. So it is a slower movie, but it's totally worth it.
Yeah, also some of the scenes do definitely drag on, but it's crucial to the story, and I think it's definitely worth it, especially when they get to the action fighting scenes, because when that happens, shit goes down. And Keanu Reeves is just a fucking badass, and I love every moment when he's in it, in his role. It's just great, and you see that side of him, and you just love every second of it. And I think that's what made this movie the way it is. And I don't think if somebody else played the role that it would be as good. I think I'm gonna end it there.
Yeah,
you good?
All right. I'm good.
All right, my name is Nick.
My name's Ryan.
This is the Tempest Productions, and again, be checking out our Lego Batman movie review. That'll be posted up later today, actually. And that's all, guys. We'll see you in the next video.
See ya.